A Scottsdale businessman has lost an appeal of a 2021 county court finding that he violated Nebraska liquor laws at a local convenience store 2 years ago. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, Kuldip Singh, owner of Chima's Liquor, appealed convictions and sentencing on 4 counts each of evasion of state liquor taxes and acquiring liquor from other than a licensed dealer, claiming the evidence was not sufficient to support the charges. The jury's guilty verdict was inconsistent. He was denied a public trial. His trial attorney failed to file a motion to quash, and the sentences received were excessive. Scottsdale County District Court's Judge Leo Dobrovoli rejected all of Singh's claims, saying in his ruling that the defense theories were without merit, the sentences were within statutory limits, and that the trial court did not commit plain error or abuse its discretion. Singh was given 30 days in jail on each of the evasion convictions to be served consecutively, plus a total of more than $6,700 in fines, restitution, and court costs. Well, the former Dual County clerk accused of using a county credit card to rack up $18,000 worth of purchases has had her latest court appearance pushed back. Polly Olson is charged with 3 counts of theft by unlawful taking, stemming from activity that occurred between 2019 and 2021. She was scheduled to have her pre-trial conference today in Dual County District Court. However, that has been pushed back to September 8th after a continuance was granted as the state filed a motion to quash. The case was initially referred to the Nebraska State Patrol by the Nebraska Attorney General's office. We'll have more news right after this.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether it is building, buying, or renovating, we have the home loan or home equity line of credit to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Life Care promises us that we are looked after and taken care of properly.
If I didn't have Life Care, I would be probably scared to death about having enough money for when I got older or when I got sick.
Moving in here was an easy decision and in fact a no-brainer. I looked at it as actually buying long-term care insurance and in retrospect a good move.
One of the things that convinces me that we did the right thing is no matter what happens, we will constantly be taken care of.
The whole thing is just vital because you don't have to be worried about what's ahead for you. It's there, it's in black and white, and that's reassuring.
This is home. It has been from the day I moved in.
Welcome back. Scottsdale Police Department K-9 Duke will receive a bullet and stab protective vest thanks to a charitable donation from nonprofit organization Vested Interest in Canines. Duke's vest is sponsored by a fundraiser hosted by Leah Park of Choke Aloha LLC and will be embroidered with the sentiment in honor of Seattle, Washington K-9 Jedi. End of watch, January 5th, 2022. In July, K-9 Frodo with the Scottsdale County Sheriff's Department received his vest from Vested Interest in Canines, which has provided over 4,700 vests to canines in all 50 states since its inception. Duke's new vest is expected to be delivered in 8 to 10 weeks. Well, a well-known landmark in Scottsbluff is gone. The tourism caboose, located at the corner of 27th Street and Highway 26, sold in June after Scottsdale County officially relinquished ownership to the city. Scottsbluff officials took sealed bids for the sale of the Burlington Northern Caboose, and the high bid was $3,100 from Anthony Sinks of rural Minutair. This week, the caboose was loaded up and taken east, leaving a noticeable void in the area that once housed the Tourism Information Center. There has been no word officially from city officials on what, if anything, will be done with the lot in the future. And there is a new COVID booster on the horizon, and UNMC's Mark Rupp explains how he expects it to be different from the ones that we've already had.
Well, what we've learned with the boosters in COVID-19 is that the vaccine effectiveness wanes over a relatively short period of time, typically somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 to 6 months. So it's going to be difficult for us to boost our way out of this pandemic. Now, luckily, work is being done on more effective vaccinations that hopefully will have broader effectiveness over a longer period of time. That's what we need to look for as these boosters are introduced.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
I really like how our OB department takes our limited amount of doctors and turns it into a strength. Even though we only have a couple of people, you get to know them well over your entire pregnancy. We have 2 state-of-the-art labor rooms that are new with our last addition. We have a couple of very nice postpartum rooms also right here in the hospital, so they can get as much time with mom and baby as possible.
This is KNEB.TV Ag News from the FNBO Ag Desk. FNBO, the great big small bank.
Jacob Roth here on the Rural Radio Network, and it's time for Fridays in the Fields, brought to you by FNBO, the great big small bank. I'm here with Matt Ulofsa again with Emerge Custom Ag. So Matt, the field looks a little bit different looking around than when we last saw it. It was nice and green and seemed to be growing pretty well. Obviously some things have changed. So what kind of all transcended that kind of led to this decision?
Yeah, so decided last week to just come in, and there's a farmer up the road that needed some feed for his cattle. So we cut it and we'll bale it this week. But kind of what happened to transpire into this is, unfortunately, when kind of spraying season came around, we were a little late with our chemical, getting it put down, getting our residual put down. And I mean, during the first couple growth cycles, I mean, it was all growing real good. I didn't have a whole lot of weed pressure, but kind of here the last 4 weeks, I've had a lot of shatter cane pop up and a bunch of other mare's tail and all that. So kind of looking at cost-wise, what it would cost me to get it harvested and get it cleaned to kind of get all the grain out I possibly could. It just kind of wasn't viable in my book. So, I mean, doing what I did now, I mean, obviously I'm probably not getting the profit out that I would have if I harvested it. I mean, I'm still not losing any money, but I'm just taking it as a learning experience, kind of take it as it comes this year. I made a little money on it. Learn from this experience, try and improve next year on a better chemical program, trying to get in earlier into the field and just get this sorted out for next season.
So you kind of talked about how like you saw that it was maybe not going to be ideal when you had the shatter cane and other things pop up. Why cut it for feed? What did you all kind of do? What were the thoughts? What were the tests you did? What kind of was the whole run up to deciding to cut it for feed when you knew you had a farmer that was interested?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the farmer gave me a call and it kind of just put the idea out there about cutting it. And we went through and did a nitrate test on it. We did 2 nitrate tests and they came back really, really positive. I mean, average, I think a nitrate test, a good one is probably 12 points. We were sitting at about 17. So I mean, a really good amount of nitrogen and nutrients in this Milo for cattle. So we kind of just discussed it, and obviously, I mean, for him, he's not exactly set up to feed his cattle with ground hay. He just rolls his bales out, which also the stalks will give him quite a bit of roughage too, just added to their diet. But just a good, solid all-around feed for them. Good nitrogen, good proteins, and quite a bit of roughage too, just to benefit the feed.
Absolutely. So what's your plan for this field for the rest of the year?
So right now I am planning on, I'll probably come in on Friday and put some rye down just as a cover, because I had come in and cultivated this between the rows, so there's not a whole lot of anything there to kind of keep the soil together. So I'll come in, put some rye in it just for the fall and the winter, and then we'll probably do no-till corn right into the rye, and then we'll probably just kill off pre-emergence, or I might go post-emergence just to kind of see what moisture content is in the soil before I just go in and kill it off. I'd like to get a little weed cover out of it. Obviously, if the rye gets up tall enough, if we have enough moisture for it to grow a decent height, I mean, it'll really help with the weed pressure we saw in this field this year. So that's kind of why I'm going with the rye. Good weed pressure, keep the soil moisture in the soil. And then also you get a pretty decent little nitrogen credit from the rye itself when you kill it off and it starts working its way back into the soil. I mean, you can get probably 10 to 15 pounds of nitrogen out of it, just as an added bonus to the other advantages of it.
Absolutely. And then kind of you're helping out with another farmer, helping out with a larger operation than your own. This was just your own little start, and like you said, it was a learning experience. What have you been seeing? We've kind of had a lot of heat, a lot of pressure, kind of in general. What have you been seeing when you're looking at that bigger operation that you're helping out with?
I mean, the corn that didn't get too much hail, we've had a lot of heat. We've had to irrigate nonstop pretty much. We were hoping for a little rain this weekend. We didn't get anything, but I mean, we've just been running the pivots nonstop. The corn that got hailed out real bad and we didn't replant, we're having a little bit of problems with stand count, and also we want to see how tall that ear is going to get. Seeing a little bit of green snap through the field just with that hail caused. The beans, obviously we had to go in and replant a bunch of that. We're seeing a little bit of weed pressure on that just because we waited a little late to spray on that too, and unfortunately we got a little water hemp coming and popping up because we went back in and we just put 30-inch rows down instead of 15, so it didn't canopy as fast as what we'd like to. And unfortunately now we've passed the cutoff on dicamba, so we can't go back in and really spray anything. So right now we'll just kind of see what harvest brings for us.
Absolutely. It just seems like a lot of learning experiences, and it's good to learn it now instead of when it's a way bigger thing and you're learning on 15 million quarters or whatever you're learning on. So yeah, exactly. It's good to be learning now on this type of stuff. So next time we're going to come back, we'll be with you again. Granted, we probably won't be doing anything here on this field because you'll hopefully have rye planted by then and everything. What are you hoping to see when it comes to the other fields that you're helping out with?
I mean, obviously here we'd like to get some rye up, just see a little coverage go in, and then next time you guys probably come out, we'll probably be harvesting. Hopefully you've got beans done. We're trying to irrigate beans as hard as we can right now. Had a couple pivot problems, but I mean, nothing you can't fix. And just with the heat, keep the pivots going, keep the corn growing as long as we can, get as best yield as we can out of it. But yeah, hopefully next time you guys come out, we'll be in the combine picking some corn or beans and something, and kind of hoping for a good yield this year.
Absolutely. Thank you again. And that was Matty Lofsa of Emerge Custom Ag. I'm Jacob Roth, and this was Fridays in the Fields, brought to you by FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank.
Logos in Gearing is the place to get all of your school spirit gear, personalized gifts, and promotional items for your business and employees and banners for any special event. Logos is also the only place to stop for custom screen printing or embroidery. You can even design it yourself on their interactive website. Stop into Logos today. They'll design it, print it, and have it to you in no time. There's no job too big or small for Logos. That's Logos in Gearing.
Let's take a peek at what's happening on your weekend community calendar. The Community Calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. First State Bank is now Riverstone Bank. Community strong with the same people you know and trust.
Welcome to Kelly's, home of the Valley's best selection of wine, spirits, and beer. Whether you're brand loyal to the tried and true brew or really enjoy trying something different and new, Kelly's has something for everyone. Family owned and operated and right on your way on West 27th Street in Scotts Bluff. Kelly's Liquor. If you can't find it at Kelly's, it's not worth drinking.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether you are just starting the business you have always imagined or looking to grow your existing one, we have a business loan to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And finally tonight, a longtime City of Scottsbluff employee retired today after 27 years with the city. Sheila Hort began her career with the city in 1995 as a firefighter and worked her way through the ranks and became the first paid female fire captain for the city. In 2004, she became a prevention officer for for the fire department, and in 2011 she moved to development services, where she has been a code administrator until today. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.